Hey guys, welcome to my tutorial, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how you can start to use the nth child and the first child or the last child pseudo elements. Now a pseudo element is not directly an actual element, so we've seen them before when we've used something like a hover. The colon hover is the actual pseudo element. Let's say we have this example over here where we want the first item to be red. Now what we could do is we could say LIID is equal to first, and then say hashtag first and color red, which is correct. However, let's say we don't want to constantly make IDs for each of our elements, then there is another way around it. In order to do this, since this is the first child of the unordered list element, what we can say is we can access the parent element, then access the child element, and we can say first child. Now what this is going to say is I want to access the first row of the list elements within the particular unordered list. So I want to be taking the first row of this list, and over here I can say color red, and as you can see the first item is now red. But what happens if I want the third item to be blue? So over here, well, this is also possible. In order to do this, we can do the same thing. We can access the parent, then we can access the child, and now instead of using the first child, we can use the nth child. Now, what does this mean? Nth child means I want to select out of any of these four, allow me to select any of the values, whether or not it's the first, second, third, or fourth. If there were 100 rows, I could pick up to 100. So since I want the third value to be blue, in brackets I'm going to put nth child bracket 3, and here I'm going to say color blue. And now as you can see here, the third element within this unordered list, the first item, second item, the third item within this unordered list has now become blue. But what happens if I want maybe every alternate item to be green? So using the same idea, I can say UL, LI, nth child, but instead of having just a value in it and then having to remake it, I can say odd or even. So I can say even. Now what is this going to do? Well, because I'm selecting every even value, it's not going to select the first item, but it's going to select the second and the fourth element because 2 and 4 are both even. If I wanted to select the odd items, then instead of putting even here, I put odd. So over here I'm putting even. Now when I refresh the page, both of these items, fourth and second, as you can now see, are green. That's really all there is to it. So that is a basic introduction to your pseudo class elements. The final thing I'll quickly show you is we've figured out how to select the first child, a particular child, multiple children depending on whether or not they're odd or even, but what about if you want to select the final item? So not the first, second, third, or fourth, but maybe the fifth item. So let me just make a list item, and all I've said here is fifth item I want to be orange. Now all I have to do is say get the unordered list, get the list element, the list child, and select the last child, and say color as orange. When I refresh the page, as you can see, it is now orange. So there you have it. Now I've shown you exactly how to access your first child, a particular child, odd or even, children, and the final child. So that's an introduction to pseudo class elements. Thank you very much for watching. This is Carl from carlsapty.com. Stay tuned for the next video.